name is Ellis. I'm 45 years old. I live in Kidbrooke. I've got ataxia, which is a balance disorder.
How does being black and disabled affects your life?
I've had quite a positive reaction from Greenwich. They're very helpful as well as very proactive. Maybe because my disability is more visible, they can see I'm disabled in the wheelchair and my speech is impaired.
Are you a service user?
Yes, I am, yes.
So do you have personal assistant?
Yes, in the morning I have a carer come in. It's supposed to be 3 times a day, but I just did him once. He stayed 45 minutes in the morning, that's it. Because I'm trying to be quite independent and do things on my own, really. I'm medically retired, I've got a pension. I used to be a police officer with the Met from about 13 years. This condition came on quite suddenly. I've never heard of it before because I used to be a footballer and an athlete as well. And then about 28, 29, I fell into bath sideways and I didn't know what was happening. I went to the doctors and the referred to a neurologist, and it's quite a difficult prognosis. But it's quite difficult kind of remembering how you were and how you are now. But you just got to cope with it.
As a wheelchair user, what do you think of access in Greenwich, in the Royal Borough of Greenwich?
Access in Greenwich is better. It's becoming a bit more feasible in terms of there's no steps in the library, in the leisure centres. They've become a bit more savvy to having no steps or very low ramps. I think there's still a need for things to be perfect, but they're on their way in terms of big lifts in cinemas, lifts and access in theatres, disabled access in concerts, things like that.
Do you think that being black has any effect on the kind of services that you would like? Do you think that there's any discrimination?
There is discrimination, kind of housing and mental health illnesses. Black people are unfortunately disproportionately put into prison. I know that. But with my condition, I think Greenwich have been very good to me in terms of housing and in terms of treatment. I saw your webinar and I do realise how many disabled people there are in just Greenwich. And in terms of their treatment and falling through the gaps in the system. For me, I'm quite, I know the law, so I know the things that I'm entitled to as well. And it appears that quite a few black people don't know the law, don't know what they're entitled to either.
What would you say that disabled people's organisations in Greenwich could do, helping, supporting Black and other minority people of colour?
There needs to be more advertising, more credible advertising in terms of attracting black people. It's a bit of a kind of taboo in Barbados and to be pushed in a wheelchair. We've got to make it more inclusive in terms of it's not such a taboo to be in a wheelchair.
What does Black History Month mean to you?
Black History Month is basically a time where we reflect on black issues. I find that come to the forefront a bit more, and just being proud to say I'm black. I was born in England, but my parents are from Barbados in the Caribbean. And a bit like Yannick, they don't recognise black history. It's just life for them.
So how do you find Black History Month here?
This has been the first thing I've been engaged with since my disability has progressed. I think this is a very good idea and it should continue.